Hey, welcome back to the Mr. Excel Netcast. I'm Bill Jelly. Basically, you start out with massive amounts of data. You say, how are we going to analyze this? Well, let's fire up a pivot table and see if we can solve this problem.
Hey, welcome back to the Mr. Excel Netcast. I'm Bill Jelly. Today's question sent in by Sean. Sean watches the podcast and says, wanted to figure out if there's a way that he could audit this spreadsheet. This is a list of locations, a start date, and an end date that they billed for that location. And they want to see if there's any locations that were double billed. So, one ID was there and another ID was there. He says that's an impossibility. And I started to think about this, and this seems similar to a situation that I have in the book, Excel Gurus Gone Wild. But rather than dig out that book and figure out how the formula works, I said I could probably just knock out some VBA very quickly to do this. So I see that we go from row 2 to row 31. Let's switch over to VBA, check them, and I'll say for I equals 2 to 31. Those are the rows. And then I'm going to have a second loop inside of that for J equals cells, I, comma, let's see, where's that first date? The first date is in 3, column C. Dot value 2 cells I, comma 4 dot value. Now, cells is a better way in VBA to refer to a specific cell. Rather than using range where we have to build the formula, we just specify the row number and the column number. And it's nice here, the row number can be a variable. And what I'm going to do, let's see, I need another variable here I didn't think about. A variable called next row. Next row is equal to 2. Alright, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to say cells, next row. So in that case, we're going to take this from row 2, comma, let's see, which column are we in? We're in column G, which is column 7, is equal to, I want to copy the patient ID over, so cells I, comma 2. Don't even need to put value there, by the way. It's the default property. Copy a few more down. So in row G, we're putting the ID. In row H, we're putting the location, which comes from column 2. In column 9, the date column, we're going to put the actual date. So this is going to be simple. We're just going to use the variable J. And then in column 10, I'm going to build a concatenated key. A concatenated key that's going to take the location and the date and put them together. So I'm going to now say dot formula R1C1 is equal RC minus 2 ampersand equal RC minus 1. Probably several different ways to write that formula. I'm more comfortable with R1C1 at this point. If you're new to macros, you're going to want to write that as a regular bit of code. And then we need to increment that counter variable. Next row is equal to next row plus 1. So what's this going to do? It's going to go from every row from 2 to 31, and then within each row we're going to say, hey, start at the earliest date, July 4th, 2008, and go to the later date, July 21st, and for each one of those dates, write a new record over here to columns G through J. So let's just do a quick test here. We'll run it, Alt F8, look for check them, click run. And an extra equal sign there. And here we are. So we have location 435B is there for every day from the 4th through the 21st. And location 234A here from row 2 is in there for a few days. All right, you'll see that we now have far more records over in G through J. Now what can we do? We can check for duplicate. I'm going to sort by my concatenated key column. And say equal if, actually I do equal or, if this is equal to the next value, or if it's equal to the previous value, then we want to know about it. So we just copy that down and cruise through there looking for trues. Right there, there's a whole bunch of situations where we have the same location but different patient IDs. So just a quick and dirty way to solve this without having to really think about any formulas, any hard formulas at all, just a few lines of simple VBA code. Now, hey, yesterday I was at the University of Akron teaching my Power Macros for Excel class. It's an all-day class. If you ever want to come to Akron, Ohio, we teach that about 3 times a year. But if you want to learn VBA, how to be able to knock out little bits of code like this, Fine folks at Q have taken my Power Excel class from the University of Akron, put it on a nice DVD-ROM. You can slip it in, watch 5 minutes a day, and before you know it, you'll be up to speed writing code like this. So check that out. We have it at our website, Amazon, all kinds of books. I think it's $49 or something like that. So great deal. Lets you create nice, simple solutions like this one. I want to thank Sean for sending this question in. I want to thank you for stopping by. We'll see you next time for another Netcast from Mr. Excel.
Thanks for stopping by. We'll see you next time for another Netcast from Mr. Excel.